Hearts beat to secrets yet unknown. In twilight's hush, where shadows roam, what lies within is revealed, and hearts find their way back home. Mirrors hold the truth, and reflections gaze where every face is turned inside out. The self you see is not you, quite the reverse. In fact, vanity cracks the glass in half. Honesty does away with that. Beneath the surface, a different tale, like a mantis, like an angel, where shadows dance, the truth prevails, like the fear, like the hope. Who enters here abandons both, swimming with killer whales, being safe as death itself. Peredur wasn't sure what he was looking for, but he needed to slay a monster. He knew that for sure. This was back in the olden days, before the reign of Arthur. Rumors were going around about a creature in the water that was scaring the peasants and making things harder. Peredur was a lord with people to protect, so he couldn't just ignore what the people said. He had to show strength or risk losing his head. But strength against what? Peredur wondered to himself, none of the witnesses' stories match up, so I guess I have to go down to lake to see for myself, to try to make sense of this all. So the next day at dawn, when the mist lay upon the cold dark waters of the lake, before the stars were gone, before the birds awake, Peredur took his sword to the shore and sat down to wait. The trees, like skeletal fingers, closed around the leaf, shivering, whispering sounds. I don't like this, he said to himself. I'm frightened to death while all is normal, which means I'm under a glamour, which means you are a witch and maybe an elf. Then he stood up bravely and shouted to the lake, I know you're there, show me your face. When I heard about your shifting shape, I suspected a fairy right away. Now that I see you, what have you to say? His challenge echoed across the lake in a strange silence, descended over everything. And Peredur knew someone was coming, and he steeled himself to keep from running. And slowly, a figure came out of the mist, drifting through the trees of the mossy forest. She was tall and thin, ethereal, even her big black eyes were looking at him, more like through me, thought Peredur to himself. That's another thing I hate about elves. The willowy woman smiled at him and said, just so you know, I heard that, and I can hear through you as well. My name is Afanc, and this is my shape. Beneath the surface, a different tale, like a mantis, like an angel, where shadows dance, the truth prevails, like the fear, like the hope. Who enters here abandons both, swimming with killer whales, being safe as death itself. Peredur felt a shiver run down his spine as Avanc's gaze seemed to draw him inside. The mist swirled closer like a veil of sleep, but suddenly parted and he could see, like a man waking up from a dream, that Afanc was the most beautiful thing that Peredur had ever seen. One of those love at first sight things that feels like recognition, a glimpse of what could be. Then the veil closed in again. Peredur looked at her and said, nice try there, getting into my head. Pray, step out of the trees and into the light, so that I can see what you really look like. Afanc held back, then asked, are you sure you want me to do that? That's the thing, said Peredur, I'm not sure, it's up to me what I see, but I'm guessing from your game that you must be really ugly. Okay, you asked for it, so let's do this. Afanc stepped out of the bushes. Peredur nearly shot himself. You look like a demon straight out of hell, yet here I am in love with you still, which is clearly impossible. Now I demand you remove your spell. No wonder you love glamour. Have you looked at yourself in a mirror? Afanc stepped back and laughed. The mirror reflects only the surface, mortal, but it's the depths that hold the truth. How I appear is all on you. This is you in the mirror too. It is you who cast the glamour on me. That's why I look so ugly, you see. Glamour works both ways, you know. Now put down your sword and just go home. Then Afanc smiled radiantly and reached out her praying mantis hands towards Peredur's forehead. The bones and a new legend has been born. Beneath the surface, a different tale, like a mantis, like an angel, where shadows dance, the truth prevails, like the fear who enters here abandons both.